Alright, y'all. We got a video from Jimmy High Roller. NBA fans aren't ready to hear the truth. I'm interested to see what he's going to be talking about in this one. What's the truth? I guess we're going to find out. Let's check it out, y'all. Here we go. He got the instrumental. He got the music going. Here we go. What? Jokic is 7 foot Draymond Green? Come on now. Bruh.
The good old hot take.
Okay,
the
that last
necessary
one was a
evil
little
of
crazy.
the sports world. Through the
Y'all
good ones,
read that,
the bad
that
ones,
last
and
one
the
was a little
downright
crazy.
atrocious ones. We once again find ourselves racking our brains, trying to figure out how some people come up with this nonsense.
This man really
but today,
found
I've
all
done
the
the brain
craziest
racking
hot
for
takes
you and found some of the hottest NBA takes on the internet. So
that people
buckle
have
up.
put out
This
there.
may be a bumpy ride.
Here we go. Brace yourselves,
Today's
y'all.
video is brought to you by SeatGeek.
Brace yourselves. Ah, boy. Good old SeatGeek. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Edition of NBA Hot Takes. So, despite my head still reeling from our last batch, we've got some new scorchers to take a look
Michael
at.
Jordan
You'd
would've
think I'd know
switched
better
hands.
than
Bro,
to
these
peer into
people
the
gotta
cold,
chill.
soulless abyss of casual NBA fandom by now. But I'm sick. I can't help myself. And I've got nothing better to
Oh,
do.
boy.
So here we are. Now this first one, some people are not going to be happy with. This NBA fan says, in terms of excitement, Steph is this generation's Jordan. And I agree. Steph may not be this generation's best player, but when it comes
I had
to
to think
drawing
about that for a
eyes
second.
and
I'm like, this
attention and putting on an
generation's Jordan.
absolute
But
show,
in terms of
there's
excitement-
no one that does it like Stephen Curry. The
Yeah.
deep threes, the antics, the fact that he's still on the same team that
I gotta
drafted
think
him,
about what
it
they're
all
saying
adds
for
to
a
the
second. Hold
Steph
up.
experience that fans across the globe love about watching him play. This man has kids on the other side of the planet rocking his jersey trying to knock down look-away threes. This
Yeah.
relatively small, unassuming athlete who wasn't a
Yeah, his
superstar
game,
recruit,
we all
rising
know
through
his
the
game has
NBA ranks
changed.
and winning titles amongst
The way
giants.
that he
How can you
plays
not
the
love
game
guy?
has
Is there
changed
anything
the-
as
has
thrilling
changed the
as
NBA.
watching
We know
Steph come
this.
down the court? Defense absolutely scrambling, trying, hoping they can stall the inevitable. But it's too late. Steph is pulling
Yeah.
up from 30 feet, and the outcome is already set in stone.
Curry, long distance. Bang!
Yeah.
There's just nothing like it. The fans love
Yep.
Steph. He's the people's champ. And I agree that in terms of excitement, he is this generation's Jordan. Now, with Nikola Jokic making a run for his third straight league MVP, the man is on track to making NBA history. But
Third?
with all
Did you
that
say
success
third
has come
straight?
more scrutiny for his shortcomings. Some of these critiques are absolutely ridiculous, and some might be warranted. A couple days ago, Stephen A. Smith said that Jokic potentially winning back-to-back-to-back league MVPs, despite his lack of playoff success, is almost criminal, questioning the validity of his awards. And like many fans of the NBA, this guy
What?
feels that this criticism of Jokic isn't fair because he's always made the most of what he's been given in the playoffs year after year. And I understand this line of thinking. I mean, the MVP is a regular season award after all, so the playoffs really shouldn't be brought up in this discussion. But it is. And it always has
Yeah.
been. Since the beginning
It
of
is-
time, NBA fans have used the
It is
playoffs
like a
as a
reward
bit of a
for-
litmus test to try to validate
people
or
that,
invalidate regular season
succeed in
MVPs.
regular
It's
season,
practically
right?
a rite of passage for any all-time great player. And Nikola Jokic should be no exception of this.
Yeah.
Must we not forget, Giannis was getting eviscerated for coming up short in the postseason after winning back-to-back MVPs. Or when people called LeBron a choke artist for winning 2 MVPs but failing to win a championship. Or when Kobe was stiffed out of possibly multiple MVPs because the Lakers just weren't a real contender at the time. You can give me all the excuses in the world, and it won't really make a difference, because no other all-time great player was granted any excuses either. If a player wants to ascend to all-time great status, he will be held to an all-time great standard. The man is on track to winning his third
Yeah.
straight MVP, and he hasn't even made the NBA Finals. This is unprecedented. Now, is this criticism unjust? Maybe, but why should Jokic be spared from intense criticism when no other great player was? We've seen voter fatigue and narratives and postseason failures prevent countless
I see where he's
players
coming
from
from.
winning the regular season MVP. Why
I
is
see where
Jokic
he's coming
exempt
from.
from this same standard? Once a player receives a certain level of praise, no excuse will be sufficient in explaining why they haven't won a ring, or even come close for that matter. This is how it's always been, and I completely disagree with this take. Now, just a couple days ago, Damian Lillard put on an absolute clinic when he scored 71 points against the Rockets.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
71 points. The man hit
That was
13
ridiculous.
threes
I heard
and was a
about that.
perfect 14 for 14 from the line.
I did
He
not
did it all.
react
I mean,
to that
this
game,
was
but I
a
did hear
masterpiece
about
from
that.
Dame.
That was
But
crazy.
leave it up to NBA fans to find the fault in this performance because, according to some fans, Dame's 71 points aren't all that impressive since he did it against one of the worst defensive teams in the league. You heard that correctly. Scoring 71 points in an NBA game is no longer impressive if you do it against a bad defensive team. And this take is so unhinged that I almost don't want to even address it.
It's still
but I'm going to
71,
anyways.
y'all. Come
Now,
on
I'm
now.
gonna let y'all in a little
It's
secret.
still 71.
But you can't tell anyone I told you this. Most big games throughout NBA history
It's
are against
71
bad defensive
points,
teams.
y'all. Come on
Surprise! Pretty crazy, right? Wilt's 100-point game in 1962 was against the Knicks, who were the second worst defensive team in the league at the time. Kobe Bryant's
Okay.
81 in 2006 was against the Raptors, who were also the second worst defensive team in the league. And David
Okay.
Thompson's 73 in 1978 was against the Pistons, who were the ninth worst defensive team in the league at the time. In fact, this is the case with nearly every all-time big scoring night throughout
They go off
NBA
against
history.
the
LeBron's
bad
career high
defensive
was
teams,
against
huh?
the Bobcats, who were the worst defensive team in the league. Shaq's career high was against the Clippers, who were also the worst defensive team in the league. Steph's
don't
career
talk to
high
my-
was against
don't
the
talk about my
third worst
Clippers like
defensive
that.
team in the league, and Michael Jordan's
Come on
career
now.
high was against the ninth worst defensive team in the league at the time. Even Donovan Mitchell's 71 earlier this season was against the fifth worst defense in the entire NBA. It's like some fans have to search for a reason to discredit some players. Dame could have scored 71 on the worst defensive team ever, and it still would have been an incredible accomplishment. You could put
Yeah,
me in
that's
front of
fine.
your local youth league
71 is
championship team,
ridiculous.
and I couldn't score 71 points in 39 minutes. Every season, every single player gets a shot to go crazy on bad defensive teams. There has been thousands of opportunities for players to use these bad teams as their punching bag, and yet only 3 players have ever topped this 71-point explosion from Dame. This performance was
Kobe.
historic, and this take is
Right,
horrendous.
only 3. So
Now,
what,
this fan
Kobe?
here says Michael Jordan is
Will-
sensitive, but he gets a pass because he's good at basketball. And
Somebody
I
else?
agree with half
I
of
can't
this
think.
take.
Can't
Michael
think of
Jordan
the
was
third guy,
sensitive.
but
People will excuse
it's
his
lazy.
behavior as competitive, but everyone in the NBA is competitive. Jordan couldn't take criticism whatsoever. In fact, his famous quote is literally a statement of how things people did and said about him really got to him. But he didn't get a pass just because he was good at basketball. He gets a pass because every time someone pissed him off, he always went out and proved them wrong.
He always
They said Clyde
responded.
Drexler was his equal.
Every time
he didn't
he had
like
a
that.
response,
And so he
bro.
went out and stomped the man in the NBA Finals. They said he wasn't as good when he came back from his first retirement, so he added that to his list of reasons to be an absolute menace and three-peated for the second time. You can
that
be
was
as
crazy.
sensitive as you want if you back
That's
it up.
crazy.
I think most NBA fans would consider Kevin Durant sensitive, but if he followed up his tweets with more championships and absolute dominance over the NBA for the rest of his career, those tweets would be an afterthought. Now, our last take is a scorcher. And not even for a split second does it add up in any way, shape, or form.
He said if
This
Kevin
NBA
Durant
fan
followed up
says,
with more
back then,
championships,
we used to celebrate three-peats.
despite the
Now kids
tweets
are out
that
here
he's
celebrating
receiving,
4
it
titles
would
in
be
10
an
tries
afterthought.
and call it
The
greatness.
tweets would be an afterthought. Hold on. Sorry. I missed it. Hold up. I missed this. Sorry, y'all. I missed this. Hold up.
An absolute dominance over the NBA for the rest of his career, those tweets would be an afterthought. Now, our last take is a scorcher. And not even for a split second does it add up in any way, shape, or form. This NBA fan says, back then, we used to celebrate three-peats. Now kids are out here celebrating 4 titles in 10 tries and call it greatness.
I don't. Oh gosh, I don't think people realize 10 finals appearances is crazy.
This is so fucking stupid. Now, clearly, this is referring to LeBron James. To which I genuinely ask this fan, and fans who think like this, do you really think LeBron's career hasn't been great? I mean,
Come on now.
really? Is it possible that
Come on
we
now.
can
10
celebrate
finals
any ring
appearances.
that any
You're hating
player
on 10
wins
finals
at any
appearances
time?
where he
or
literally
has the bar
led
been
his
established
team,
so
bro.
high that if you aren't three-peating, it isn't truly great?
I don't think people
All right,
understand how
everyone.
hard it
New
is
rule.
to
No
win
celebrating
back-to-back
rings or
to-back
titles or
championships.
MVPs or big or small successes anymore.
Winning
we
a
are only
championship takes a
celebrating
lot.
three
Winning
peats.
back-to-back
Dirk's ring wasn't great.
is
The
really
Bum only
tough.
won one in
Winning
21
three?
years. Boston's ring in 08, worthless. Raptors in 2019, bums. Bucks in 2021, Giannis and the gang, bums. We don't celebrate that. Get that out of here. I just can't believe some fans actually think like this. I mean, according to this logic, no one in the entire NBA right now should be celebrated. We need to drop this whole
Hey.
rings or bust discourse altogether.
Rings or
It's
bust.
just silly, and it's a bad faith argument to discredit really awesome players. In fact, this same fan goes on to share posts celebrating the greatness of players like Damian Lillard and John Stockton, who've never won a ring. And most ironic of all, this fan goes on to say that the '89 Cleveland Cavaliers were the greatest team in franchise history. Literally describing a team that was bounced out of the
Wait,
first
what?
round of the playoffs as the greatest. So not only is this line of thinking
I don't-
flat out
yeah.
wrong, it's
I
disingenuous.
don't think we should
A player
be
doesn't
taking
need to
this-
pull off
this
the
fan
greatest
seriously,
feat in the
whoever
history
this
of the
is.
game to be great. Greatness comes in many different shapes and forms.
Yeah,
and
that's
apparently,
true.
so do takes on the NBA. And unfortunately, that's all the
Yeah.
racking my brain can handle in one sitting. But y'all know the drill. Leave a comment with your hottest NBA take. The
I
hotter,
think this is
the
all
better,
it takes I can
or
handle in
worse.
one sitting.
Hope you all enjoy.
Too.
And as
like,
always,
aw,
until next time.
He's trying to clip of Skip and Shannon. Showed a little quick clip of Skip and Shannon. Oh boy, they be debating 24/7, y'all. 24/7 they be debating. Hey, but let me know what you guys thought about this video. I mean, there's gonna be, we're gonna be debating a whole bunch of stuff for the rest of time, really. So it is what it is. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. I'll catch you all in the next one.